Alright guys, I'm just gonna discuss to you about something, okay? This is actually related to Nahuel and the magic book. But because I'm not really going to show the footage, because I don't have the time to do that, so instead I'm just gonna do critical thinking or think out of the box questions, okay? Okay, this one goes straight forward to the question. Alright, the first one is that I actually made up from my head is that why did Nahuel actually steal the book from the old abandoned house? The reason why Nahuel really did steal the book from the house is because he wanted to overcome his fears with the water, and so that he can apparently get over it. But it goes into the fact that there's actually like a bigger consequences that Nahuel and his father are going to get swept into the sea. Alright? Okay. The next question I actually made out from my head is number 2. Who actually saw Nahuel being unconscious? This question really came out from my head. That one was a really good question that came out from my head. So actually, when Nahuel was actually unconscious, the hencher actually found Nahuel, and both of them decided to aid Nahuel before both of them decided to get through thing to save his father. Alright. I don't really have any more critical thinking questions, but apparently I'm just gonna go through a discussion thing. Alright. So number 1, if we do believe that the water is our biggest fear, how do we really overcome our fear like Nahuel did? Don't try to look it up in the Wikipedia or don't try to Google it, okay? It's not the answer. Okay, to overcome your fear with the water, you probably have to notice to yourself it's not gonna hurt you. It's not a monster. Think for yourself. Is it really, really necessary to go in the water with an adult like that? Yeah, that case really, really happens a lot, especially for younger children. It was definitely a saddest time where people do lose their life while drowning, like if it's in a shipwreck or so, or if it's like a boat crash. I just remembered something that what Nahuel really did. So eventually, while they were apparently separated during the storm, the waves apparently just swept them away. Apparently this is taken from the video, but I don't want to take this one way too seriously, alright? Even though I still cannot show the footage of the movie because of a copyright claim, not from mine, but from another user. Apparently, guys, I think this is the best time for critical thinking and think outside the box for this kind of movie series, which is Nahuel and the Magic Book. Alright, so for critical thinking, I think a question into my head, it comes out immediately. Alright, so another question is this. Would you really think that Nahuel and Frisha would go to school together? Kind of, I guess. Maybe yes, maybe no. I'll just say that this story was actually set in 1997. So, could it mean that Nahuel and Frisha are actually 12 and 13 years old? I don't know. It says in the story that they are 12, or maybe they just almost turned 13. So they could possibly be born in 1984 or 1995. That's just my prediction, actually. So it's just critical thinking and theory. So eventually, couldn't it just mean that Nahuel would have turned 13, I guess? I don't know, I guess. Alright. without being said or do, I think that's enough of critical thinking for now. Alright, so you've been wondering about the Nahuel and Frisha part. I'm just gonna break it down into point forms, alright? Frisha and her grandmother had found Nahuel on a deserted island. Secondly, Frisha did make the medicine that can help Nahuel regain his strength back. Third, Nahuel actually did save Frisha from the water after a terrible fall and the aftermath of the lighthouse. Fourth of all, they actually do have fears. Like Nahuel's afraid of the sea and Frisha is scared of the dark. And eventually, I'm gonna really say this. So in the part of the campsite part, Frisha apparently had a fear of the dark. But once she overcomes this kind of fear, she knows what to do. She always uses a stick, light it up with a fire, and that's how you apparently make a nightlight. I know people sometimes are very scared of the dark, but you have to face it. There's nothing scared about it. Well, except for like bats or so. I think I do remember there was actually a blackout. My dog was afraid of the dark, so eventually he would get himself hurt, or he would actually end up like scratching my bedroom door. Eventually, what I was gonna say is that these kinds of things really happen a lot to people, especially dogs. Animals can really happen a lot. Alright, so for this kind of question goes like this. Why did Kalku actually drag Frisha to the sea dinosaur? When Nahuel was thrown onto the floor, she notices Nahuel being like thrown on the ground, so eventually Frisha did try to distract Kalku, but she was dragged by Kalku's dark magic. So what I was gonna say is that Frisha apparently almost got herself killed by that sea dinosaur. Even though Frisha did scream for Nahuel's help, he tried to pull the lever, which was actually featured in the lighthouse. So eventually what I was gonna say is that in the lighthouse scene, Nahuel wasn't really that strong enough to help his friend, but his father apparently did save the day. So Kalku apparently got melted, and the sea dinosaur was definitely attracted to light, like this, like light. So once that was done, Frisha apparently collapses to the ground. She's still conscious, but falls into the water immediately, where she drowns and almost gets eaten. I mean, it's like kind of like scary. It's a very bad experience where people do drown. They're just afraid of drowning. I know one time I actually almost drowned back in 2018. I know it's a bit scary, guys, but definitely I did learn my lesson. I should never be involved in this game, even though it includes the goggle game, which is definitely dangerous. It could be a very dangerous game, and it can really hurt someone. I know I did this a lot of times. I know about the goggle game. That one could be really dangerous, and it can really lead to drowning, you know. I've noticed like some of my friends experience this, like the drowning thing already, but thank goodness we're all like adults, so we don't need to go through that. Unless like you're a trained lifeguard, you could probably like do a thing like that. But I think that's really all for this kind of critical thinking and think outside the box topic. Alright, for this Nahuel and the Magic Book series. Okay, before I sign off, there will be a different short summary discussion on the Nahuel series. It's the final series. It's gonna be 10 videos. Eventually, this will only take like 10 to 15 minutes for recording, but this won't premiere until 3:30 p.m. Because of this, in my previous video, I actually did say that I'll be at school on Friday. I'm actually doing CCA with a student. We're doing YouTube shoots. Because of this, I did get involved in YouTube back then in 2012, but I did not start to create a channel until 2017, which I'm doing right now. Alright, so I think that could be all for now, and this is me signing off.